Hello, to Jimmi and Dave from the Pigeon Detectives. How are you doing?
Good, thank you.
Very good, thanks.
Good. So we're at the rescue rooms in Nottingham currently. It's March. I can't remember what date. The 9th.
I'm blending into one at the moment.
Yeah, because you're on a big tour at the moment. How's it going so far?
Yeah, it's going really well. We're, like I say, halfway through now, so we're a bit tired and the legs are a bit achy at our age. But no, we're enjoying it. We're loving it. We always love coming out on tour and spending time together. So yeah, it's brilliant.
Mm. And it's that kind of time of year where festivals are being announced and bills for festivals and things like that. And you're on a couple, I've noticed. Live at Leeds being one, which should be quite fun, I guess. What other stuff have you got lined up and kind of coming up? Is there anything you're particularly excited for, or what's going on?
Well, we're definitely excited for Live at Leeds. The lineup keeps getting better and better each year. A few good bands to watch for us as well as playing, to be fair. The festival scene, as we're talking now, we're having a few kind of booked, so we can't really say. But do you know any of them?
No, we like you said, we're in the sort of late stages of negotiating them at the moment, so we should be able to announce something in the next week or so.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's looking good. We look like we're going to have a nice full summer, which is great for us to get out there in the fields in the sunshine.
So what's the idea of that? Is like, I guess some bands, they kind of have plans for what's going on in the next couple of years or something. Is it quite kind of like that for you? So maybe 2017 is the live year, and then maybe you'll go back and record some stuff next year or something. Is there kind of a plan of things, or are you just kind of taking it as it comes?
Well, I was just going to say that we've planned for this year, so we know that obviously we're touring now, the new album, going to be doing some festivals, and we're planning on doing something for the anniversary of our debut. It'll be the 10th year anniversary for me, so we're planning on doing something to celebrate that late this year. So we're just going to enjoy that really, and not really plan too far ahead. You know, we've just spent a while kind of writing this and working towards recording it and everything. So yeah, I mean, we'll see.
Mm-hmm. What's the writing process been like for the album and recording? Because obviously it can be different for different bands, I'm sure. Is there kind of a kind of moment in time where for a couple of months you kind of sit down and let's write an album, or is it kind of stuff that develops over time? Is it stuff that you're writing whilst you're on tour and then you kind of we'll definitely put that in a song? What's it kind of like for you guys?
Generally, we kind of lock ourselves in a bunker practice studio and try and bash it all out. But when it came to writing this album, we wanted to take a lot more time over it and try and step outside our comfort zone with regards to sounds and sort of, the structure of how you create the song. So I suppose it was fighting against our instincts really with this album and trying to explore different avenues. So it took a lot longer than usual. It took about 2 years to do this album. We had a lot of we wrote about 60 songs. We got rid of the majority and ended up with a 10-song album that we're really happy with. So it was a bit painstaking, this one, to be honest. A lot of banging your heads against a brick wall, a lot of scrapping things and starting again. But I think it was all for the benefit of the actual album.
Mm-hmm. And what's the kind of what's the buzz like at the moment for the album? Obviously the tour now must be a kind of indication of what it's kind of like for how people are going to or maybe have already received bits. What's it kind of like? And does it kind of, you've been going for a long time now, does it still kind of make you a bit nervous of how people are going to go like, oh no, maybe they won't like this, or is it still kind of a big factor in your mind?
Well, firstly, like when we've been playing the new ones, people have been like singing some of the words, which is good, and they're not kind of in your face punky kind of songs that people are used to hearing from us, and generally like on social media and stuff like that, we're getting a really good reaction. I think it's like an album for not only people who might dip in and out of music, like accessible stuff, but also kind of more the musos kind of liking it. And although it's more of a concise album than previous, I think that there's something kind of for everyone on there rather than like a lot of singles. And yeah, it's getting generally a really good reaction, and we buzz off doing something different on stage. People are still getting the kind of older all the stuff like the big singles that we've had in the past, but then, you know, it's fresh for us to dip into something new. It's
something I just touched on slightly, kind of briefly. It's 13 years now since you've been going as a band. Is that, or even longer? I guess.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
2004 were our first gig.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So to kind of still be together in itself must be kind of a thing, because surely bands, fight, and a lot of bands, famously, I suppose. But what is it that kind of, for you, that glues it all together? Keeps you kind of stuck together and keep wanting to make music together?
Well, I think what sets us aside from most bands is that we've been friends since we were 4 years old. So the friendship always came before the music, really, and then the music developed from that. And don't get me wrong, we argue like 2-year-olds sometimes, but it never lasts long, and it's kind of a brotherly thing at this point. So you see a lot of bands on the circuit that don't seem to get on, and I don't know how they do it, to be honest, because with us it's always been kind of us five against the world, and as long as you keep that tight, then everything else will sort itself out, and I think that's the key to the longevity, just a good, strong, long friendship.
Now, when you kind of rose to fame, I guess it was at a kind of time when there was a lot of music on the scene that was coming from up north in kind of Yorkshire and things like that. Obviously, you're from Leeds. Do you think that helped? Not that there's no kind of musical talent there or anything, but there's a lot of bands that came from kind of Yorkshire and up north at that kind of time. Do you think that helped at the time, and how do you think it compares to helping now? Because now, I guess, you've made it. You can safely tour and have a good crowds coming. So do you have any kind of comment on that?
Coming from Leeds at the time we did it, and like I say, even up north was really good. We kind of always operated on the periphery of the scene, as it were. But I think it was just guitar music and was rife at that moment in the whole country, to be honest, and there was great bands coming out of the woodwork all over the place. So I think it was just a good time to be strumming a guitar and throwing yourself around the stage when we came back. These days bands find it tougher to get the radio or get a foothold in the industry, but it's cyclical, these things. It'll come back round and there'll be another band boom, I'm sure, in the next few years. But yeah, I mean, the sort of state of the industry at the time we were young upcomers definitely helped for us, I think.
One final question, which I tend to ask to all of the musical acts I interview. One musician that is sort of the musician for you. If there had to be no others, and there had to be one more musician that could ever live, who would it be? That maybe inspires you as a musician or as a person, I guess. Is there one person that you could kind of name as an outright favourite, maybe?
You go, Dad.
We'll probably have very different ideas. I think in terms of songmanship and musicianship, you can't get much better than Prince. In terms of how brilliant he is as a musician, how creative he was as a songwriter, and sort of the impact he had. So I'd go for someone like him, I think.
A few, but I quite like the singer of the Strokes, Julian Casablancas. Just in the way that he is a solid writer, and it seems like he obviously directed the Strokes in all the parts, so as well as writing, it's all little performance bits. His solo stuff's really good, so yeah. Or Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson's up there for me.
All three of those fantastic artists, I must say. Guys, thank you very much.
Well, cheers, mate.
Good luck with the show. Good luck with the rest of the tour and the summer.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.